Hey, my third grade mathematicians. Today we're going to continue to work on fractions as numbers on the number line. And we're going to compare fractions and whole numbers on the number line by reasoning about their distance from zero. So let's begin with our problem of the day. Let's read this problem of the day together. Everyone ready, read. Third grade students are growing peppers. The student with the longest pepper wins the Green Thumb Award. Jackson's pepper measured 3 inches long. Drew's measured 10/4 inches long. Who won the award? Draw a number line to help you prove your answer. So first, let's think about what is this story about? Tell your partner what the story's about. Yes, it's about some students growing peppers, and the one that has the longest pepper is going to win the Green Thumb Award. Excellent job. So what information is important in this story? Very good. Jackson's pepper measured 3 inches long. The student with the longest pepper wins the award. And Drew's pepper measured 10/4 inches long. So what are we trying to find out? We're trying to find out who has the longest pepper, because whoever has the longest pepper is the one who will win the award. And in order to do that, we need to draw a number line to help us prove our answer. Like the way you're thinking, so right now I want you to draw your number line. So you have a number line, and we're going to label this number line. We know that we're going to start at 0 holes. So when I draw my number line, and on this end, I'm going to put 0 for 0 holes. Not real sure how many holes I'm going to need, but I do know that I need at least 3. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to label this as 1, 2, and 3, and leave a little bit for in case I need more, because I know that this is 3 inches right here. So 3 holes is 3 inches. So I know this is Jackson's, and I'm just going to put Jack. And I need to figure out where Drew's pepper would go on this number line, because his was 10/4 inches long. So the denominator is 4. So how many equal parts do I need to partition each hole into? Very good, 4 equal parts. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to partition from 0 to 1 into 4 equal parts. From 1 to 2, I'm going to partition into 4 equal parts. From 2 to 3, I'm going to partition into 4 equal parts. Now I'm going to see if I can figure out where 10/4 would go on this number line. So I know this is 0/4. So 0/4, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, 5/4, 6/4, 7/4, 8/4, 9/4, 10/4. So I made my little dot bigger. I was just using dots to show you all where that would be. So this is where 10/4 would go. This is where 3 inches would go. So this is 10/4 inches. This is 3 inches. So who won the award? This is Drew, and this is Jackson. So who won the award? Yes, Jackson won the award. Why did Jackson win the award? I want you to explain how you know that Jackson won the award on your paper. Pause the video, and on your paper, explain how you know that Jackson won the award. All right, so I know that many of you have written this down, and you've done an excellent job. We know that Jackson won the award because Jackson's 3 inches is greater than 10/4 inches. And I bet many of you can already tell me if I have 10/4 inches and I take that and I simplify that, it would be 2 2/4 inches. 2 2/4 inches. So 3 holes is more than 2 holes and 2/4. Excellent job, boys and girls. Keep up the good work. So today we're learning to compare fractions and whole numbers on the number line by reasoning about their distance from zero. So we're going to really focus on that distance from zero. So on your paper, on the back of your application problem or problem of the day, I have a blank paper for you. I want you to draw 2 same-sized rectangles and partition both of them into 4 equal parts, just like the ones that I have shown you here on my computer. Shade your top rectangle to show 1/4 and shade the bottom to show 3 copies of 1/4. So 3 copies, so here's 1/4, 2 copies of 1/4, 3 copies of 1/4. So that shows you that there are 3 copies of 1/4. So pause your video and just go ahead and do this, and then when you're finished, go ahead and push play again. So now let's compare both of these models, both of these rectangles. Which shaded fraction is larger? Tell a family member which shaded fraction is larger. Yes, 3/4 is larger than 1/4. So I'm going to write 3/4 is greater than 1/4. Now, how do you know? Oh, I know that some of you use that word area. 3/4 covers more area than 1/4. Excellent job. Now, with each one of these, the same models we just used, this time we're going to draw number lines from 0 to 1 to match these rectangles. So draw a number line from 0 to 1 for this one. So this would be your 0. This would be your 1. Now we're going to partition it into fourths just like this one is. So we know that 1/4 would be right there. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I want you to do the same thing with this number line. Label it 0 and 1. Mine are a little close, but yours do not have to be on your paper. Then partition it just like this one is. So I forgot to put my dot, and I'm going to plot this right here. This is 3/4. Okay, now when I look at that and I'm comparing 1/4 and 3/4 using the number line, how do you know which fraction is larger? Yeah, because 1/4 is closer to 0, 3/4 is closer to 1 whole. So when I'm looking at this, I can see their distance from 0. So 1 unit right here is shorter distance from 0 than 3 units. So 3 units, which is 1, 2, 3 units, is far away from 0. So we know that 3/4 is greater than 1/4, or we could say 1/4 is less than 3/4. Very good job. Let's keep going. So now we're going to do some more practice like this. So now we're going to use the fraction 2/4, 10/4, and 7/4. Those are the fractions we're going to work with. So we're going to place each of these fractions on this number line. So this tells us that we're going to partition it into fourths. So from 0 to 1, I'm going to partition into fourths. From 1 to 2, I'm going to partition it into fourths. From 2 to 3, I'm going to partition it into fourths. Now, I have to figure out where 2/4 goes. So I know that this right here is 0/4, 1/4, and then I have 2/4. So I'm going to plot 2/4 right there and put a rectangle around it so I remember which one I'm working with. Then I have 3/4, 4/4, which is equivalent to 1 whole, 5/4, 6/4, and 7/4. So 7/4 would go right there, and I'm going to show that. So then I have 8/4, which is equivalent to 2 wholes, 9/4, and then I have 10/4. So I'm going to plot 10/4 right there. So now I'm going to go down here to 3/4 and 5/4. So 3/4 is right here, and 5/4 is here. So which one is greater? Remember, 3/4 is really close to 0, but 5/4 is far away from 0. We're going to show that the mouth is going to eat the larger fraction on the number line. And we know that 5/4 is farther down the number line, so the mouth is going to eat 5/4. 3/4 is less than 5/4. Now, let's continue with 7/4, and I'm going to erase my arrows because I'm just using those to help model for this. 7/4, so let's find 7/4. It's right there. And let's find 4/4. It's right there. So which one is greater, 7/4 or 4/4? Well, 4/4 is here. It's closer to 0. 7/4 is farther away. So we know that 7/4 is greater than 4/4. Now the last one is 3 wholes, and I am not positive what is under there. You will make it, let's make it 8/4. 3 wholes and 8/4. So let's find 3 wholes. 3 wholes is right there. And 8/4 is right there. Let me get rid of the others. So which is greater, 3 wholes or 8/4? Yes, 3 wholes, because it is farther away from 0. So we know that 3 wholes is greater than 8/4. Wow, boys and girls, you're doing such an awesome job. Let's keep up the good work. Let's do a couple more like this, and then you're going to do some practice by yourself. So our fractions are 1/3 and 2/3. So we know that the denominator is 3, so we're going to have to partition from 0 to 1 into thirds. So that's 3 equal parts. Now we know that this is 0/3, so this would be 1/3. 2/3, and 3/3. Let's plot 1/3 and let's plot 2/3. So which is greater, 1/3 or 2/3? Well, 1/3 is close to 0, and that's nothing. So we want 2/3 is greater than 1/3. So we would read it 1/3 is less than 2/3, because 1/3 is closer to 0, 2/3 is closer to the whole. Okay, let's do the next one. The next one is 4/6 and 1/6. So our numerator is 6, so we need to partition this into 6. I'm going to do half, and then 1, 2, 3 parts over here, 1, 2, 3 parts over here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal parts. So I'm going to find 4/6. I know this is 0/6, 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6. So I found 4/6. And then my other one is 1/6, and 1/6 is there. So which is greater, 4/6 or 1/6? 4/6 is greater than 1/6, because 1/6 is really close to 0, which is nothing, and 4/6 is closer to 1 whole. Way to go. Now this one's a little different, because this one is 4 at 1/4 and 1/8. So now we're going to have to start out by partitioning our number line into fourths. So I'm going to start out with fourths right